Hello again, math geniuses. Let's talk about what is the least common denominator. 1 over 8, or 1/8, plus 3 over 4, or 3/4. Now, if you remember from the video on adding and subtracting fractions, the first thing we do is set up the problem. That means equal sign, equal sign, equal sign, down here in the answer area, fraction bar, and fraction bar down here in the answer area. Next, we find the least common denominator. 8 is larger than 4, so we're going to start up here. Can you multiply 8 times something and get 8? Well, of course you can. 8 times 1 is 8. Can you multiply 4 times something and get 8? As a matter of fact, you can. So we can stop right there. That's our least common denominator. First thing that we tried. Our least common denominator is 8. Are there other common denominators? Yeah, sure there are. 16 is a common denominator, but it's not the least common denominator. Let's continue. Back to the top fraction. If I have to multiply 8 times 1 to get this 8, then I also need to multiply this numerator times 1. Whatever you do in the denominator, you also do in the numerator. Keep it the same. Same. So I need to multiply this times 1. Now let's go to the bottom fraction. 4 times what is 8? Well, that's 2. 4 times 2 is 8, right? So if I multiply 4 times 2 to get this 8, then I also need to multiply the numerator times 2. So let me reiterate. We multiplied this denominator by 1, so we have to multiply this numerator by 1. We multiplied this denominator by 2, so we have to multiply this numerator also by 2. Same. Now then, let's go back to the top fraction. In the numerator, 1 times 1 is 1. Bottom fraction, 3 times 2 is 6. Now going back to our procedures for adding and subtracting fractions, we verify our operation, we're adding. So we look at our numerators. 1 plus 6 gives us 7. And the answer to our problem here is 7 over 8. Let's try something else. 1 over 3 plus 2 over 5. First, setup. Equal sign, equal sign, equal sign. Fraction bar, fraction bar, fraction bar. Now we look at our denominators. We have 3 and 5. 5 is the largest, right? So then you ask the question, can I multiply 5 times something and get 5? Of course you can. 5 times 1 is 5. Can I multiply 3 times something and get 5? And the answer is no. What do you do next? You tried 5 times 1. Now you step it up and go 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Can I multiply 3 times something and get 10? And the answer is no. Back to the big denominator. 5 times 3, that's 15. Can I multiply 3 times something and get 15? Yes. So now we have a least common denominator of 15. Next we need to figure out what our new numerators are going to be. So let's start in the lower fraction again, the one with the bigger denominator. In the denominator, I know I have to multiply 5 times something to get this 15. And what I'm going to multiply 5 by is 3. Because 5 times 3 is 15. So whatever I multiply by in the denominator, I also have to multiply by in the numerator. Now let's go to the top fraction. 3 times what will give me 15? 5. Whatever I multiply there, I have to multiply up here as well. Let's solve our new numerators. In the bottom fraction, 2 times 3 is 6. Top fraction, 1 times 5 is 5. And 5 plus 6 is 11. What about when we're subtracting fractions? Haha, good question. It works exactly the same. Let's try 3 over 8 minus 1 over 3. Step 1, equal sign, equal sign, equal sign, fraction bar, fraction bar, fraction bar. Step 2, figure out where our larger denominator lives. We have 8 in the top one and a 3 in the bottom one, and that makes 8 the larger denominator. Can we multiply 8 times something and get 8? Of course. 8 times 1 is 8. Can we multiply 3 times something and get 8? The answer is no. 8 times 2 is 16. Can we multiply 3 times something and get 16? And the answer is no. Back upstairs. 8 times 3 is 24. Can we multiply 3 times something and get 24? Yes! So 24 is our least common denominator. So let's go ahead and plug that in. Now we're going to work out our new numerators. Let's go back to the top fraction. If I have to multiply this denominator times 3 to get 24, then I'm also going to multiply this numerator times 3. And by the same token, if I multiply 3 times 8 down here to get this 24, then I'm also going to multiply by 8 in the numerator. Let's figure out our new numerators now. Back to the top fraction. 3 times 3 is 9. In the bottom fraction, 1 times 8 is 8. Next, we solve the fraction. 9 minus 8 is 1. And the answer is 1 over 24. That'll do it for this installment, Math Geniuses. If you have any questions or comments or need any further help, the email address is deliomath@gmail.com. See you next time, Math Geniuses.